Well, here it is, my first Q&A video. A few days ago in my community tab, I asked you guys if I should make a Q&A video, and there was an overwhelming yes to this. I'm talking, there was 177 votes and 88% of you guys said send it. So with that, I asked you guys to leave some genuine, thoughtful questions in the comments of that tab post. You guys came through, so let's answer a few of those right now. The first of those that I want to answer comes from Just Blazed. And the question is, what has kept you motivated to keep riding all these years? I honestly don't know what has kept me motivated to keep riding and keep pushing the way that I do all of these years. And I think that's my favorite part about it. I don't know why I have to go to the skate park and I have to obsess over a single trick until I land it. And I don't know why it's always been like that. And I don't know why I obsess over these things so intensely and insanely. And I love it. For some reason, I've been just motivated to get that next thing and do the tricks that pop into my head. And I have no idea why. I just have to do it, literally. If we want to extend this question to talk about landing specific tricks and being motivated to keep going and landing certain tricks, I think it's a mixture of obsession and the determination to not give up until I get what I'm trying to get or the trick that I want. I'm so obsessed with making this trick happen and I want it so bad and I'm determined to make it happen that I just literally cannot give up until I land it. And that's why there have been certain tricks that have legitimately taken me hours and hours and hours on multiple different days just to get them one single time and never ever do them again. Now moving down to a less philosophical question, we've got one from Bill Berger, and it's, why did you decide to start your own channel? So I've actually always had a YouTube channel. Even way back in 2007, I was uploading videos to YouTube. It just wasn't this channel. Then I had another channel after that first one that I ever made, and I put some videos on there and I just made videos randomly here and there. I made some kind of embarrassing metal screamo cover videos on that for a long time, in addition to my riding videos. And then I kept getting more and more involved with making riding videos and learning how to film and getting cameras and uploading stuff there. Then I transitioned to Vimeo, where I uploaded all of the Lip Lords videos. And then finally, Instagram came around and I started uploading stuff to Instagram. I never, ever, ever wanted to have an Instagram, but one day I was riding with Zach Gerber down in Columbus when I lived down there. Him and I would always get into really long conversations, and Instagram came up and I kind of said, I never want to have an Instagram. I just don't even want to mess with it. I don't think it'd be worth it or anything like that. And he convinced me to make an Instagram, and this is going somewhere, I promise, and it is related to YouTube. So with that, I started filming stuff to post on Instagram pretty regularly, and it got to the point where I was filming so much stuff, not just like I was filming for Instagram, but I was filming even more than that. It got to the point where it was like, dude, this is only a 15-second upload limit on Instagram, because at one point in time you could only upload 15 seconds of video onto Instagram. I was filming so much and then posting multiple different Instagram videos from the same day on different days on Instagram that I had the idea, well, what if I just made longer videos and put them on YouTube? And I made this current YouTube channel and I uploaded every single Instagram video that I ever posted as my first videos on this channel. And then after all of those were uploaded, the longer extended version of my Instagram videos belonged onto this channel. And that was kind of how this started. There was no real intent to like make produced stuff specifically for YouTube. I just thought it would be cool to upload what I was putting on Instagram, but longer versions of it, and cut into something that showed a little bit more than the 15 seconds. Then it just kept morphing into other things, where like I did something that I called life clips, which I kind of regret mentioning in this video right now, where I literally did vlogging, but I didn't point the camera at myself and I didn't talk at all. And I just filmed what was happening and I put it in there. I filmed myself hunting because that was part of my life. And that ended up being one of my most successful videos on here, is one of the videos from my hunting life clips. And then from there, I started to make more dedicated videos for the channel. I did a tip video where it was like how you could use a zip tie to true your wheels. And then things just kept going and going from there. And I started making more and more videos specifically for the channel. And then I started filming videos where it was like games of bike, and it just progressively moved to what it is right now, where I try to upload a video every single day for you guys. And that is the super long extended story of why I decided to start my own channel. And it gives you a whole lot of ammo to go and look at really old videos, but you're not going to find the old metal screamo cover videos, because every single one of those is private and no one will ever see those ever again. Actually, I'll say it right now, because this is a pipe dream. It'll never ever happen, and I know that I'm safe. If this channel ever reaches 10 million subscribers, I will do a video reacting to my old screamo cover videos. Hope I don't regret saying that. Moving on, let's answer a couple questions that won't take a few minutes to answer. The first one comes from BMX, and it's, have you ever met any professional riders, and if so, what was it like? I've met a ton of different professional riders out there, and there's a few of them that are highlights. I can remember the first time that I ever met Chris Doyle. I had absolutely no idea who he was, and my buddy at the skate park, Sponge, was freaking out like, is that Chris Doyle? And I'm like, who's that? I didn't have any idea. And it was pretty cool to have no idea who he was, and then come to a point where now I would call myself and Chris friends, which I think is pretty awesome. And then we'll talk about the one that is the biggest, coolest one ever for me, because when I was growing up, there were only a few different people that I really even knew of that were pro riders. And that was because I never watched full-length videos. I never really watched web edits or anything like that. So there's only a few people that were on my radar. And one of those people was Scotty Kramer. And when I met Scotty Kramer in person for the first time ever, it was the best and coolest interaction I've ever had with a pro, because the first time I met Scotty, I went to the jam in Connecticut that they had for him. So at this point, he was still having to use a walker, and I didn't want to be the guy who was like waiting in a line to talk to someone. I wanted to just walk up to him when he was by himself and be like, hey, what's up? So I sat there and I waited for literally, I don't even know how long it was. I just waited for no one to be around because I didn't want to be that guy. Walked up to him and I said, hey, what's up? And the first thing that Scotty said to me was, I know you, Bram Moore. And it was just like, whoa, that's crazy, because Scotty was literally like the only pro that I can remember even knowing who they were growing up, because I watched his felt bikes videos, and he was doing all the 5 taps and ice picks and different stuff like that. And thinking back on it now, it almost feels like that's somewhat of like an inspiration for some of the tricks that I like to do, because I love 5 taps and ice picks. But also at the same time, there's people at my local skate park who also love doing 5 taps and holding ice pick stalls for as long as they possibly could. So I'm sure it was just a mixture of all of it. But those are a couple of my favorite interactions from meeting pros. And I think just the coolest thing that ever there could have been is having Scotty know who I was before I actually even met him. And now that that question ended up actually being way longer than I thought it was going to be, let's move on to answering 2 different people's questions at one time. The first one comes from Pedal D's Nuts, and it's, with the videos you've done to learn a trick, any chance we'll ever see your 2-brake bike and you learn a front brake trick? And then we move all the way down here to Ridin' High, and it's, would you ever consider running front brakes on your setup? What do you think of front brake tricks in general? So to combine those two and answer them, yes, I will absolutely make a video riding just the front brake bike and learning a front brake trick on it, because why not? And I think it'd be awesome, because I haven't ridden the front brake bike in so long, and there is some updates coming on that bike for anyone who might be interested on that. And then to answer, what do you think of front brake tricks in general? I think they're awesome. I love front brakes. I love watching front brake riders do what they do, and there's certain tricks that are just mind-blowing that people do with front brakes. I think with that one, that makes 4 that we've answered so far without counting the multiple people asking the same question. So let's give it 1 or 2 more before we get out of here. The next one I want to answer comes from Evan Crowley. I hope that's how you say it. If not, I'm sorry. The question is a multi-part question, and the first part is, what do you do besides ride, both for fun and for work? And then he asks, how long have you been riding and what inspired you to begin your channel? Well, we already answered what inspired you to begin your channel. so you know that one already. But let's start with the what do you do besides ride for both fun and for work. For work, I do a couple different things outside of the full-time job that is this YouTube channel. I also edit videos for a local manufacturing company. They make tractors and they're called Ventrac. You can check out their YouTube channel. They've got like 90-something thousand subscribers, and one of the recent videos I did for them was the video where they're using the tractor to clean tires out of a river. I edited the whole video, and at this point I've been doing this for just under a year now. I've also, for the past few years, have been doing some Photoshop editing for a women's clothing store that's in Ohio, actually. Sounds a little bit weird, but it's super simple. It's just a monotonous, tedious thing that I do. Literally what I'm doing is taking the photos that they send me and turning the background from a grayish tone or whatever it ends up being into a pure white background. Very simple, but those are the things that I do in addition to YouTube for work. So basically I have 3 jobs, but when it comes to fun outside of riding, riding is literally like the #1 thing that I do in my entire life. But there are some things outside of riding that people might not know. Like, for one, I am an avid hunter and fisherman. Say what you will about it. Hunting and fishing literally have been in my life since way before I even thought about riding. And hunting for the past few years for me has been more of sitting in a tree stand watching animals every single day for an entire month without ever actually taking an animal. So I was pretty much just nature watching for the entire month of November. But there's just something about being in the outdoors and hunting and fishing that are just riding's here, hunting and fishing are right there. Of course, I also have Victoria in my life, so I hang out with her as much as I can, and she likes to go to the skate park with me, so she shares a huge part of my riding as well. Going to the movies, doing the normal stuff that people do, watching Netflix, binge watching Disney Plus now that we have that to do. But really, when it comes down to it, it all just comes right back to riding and filming, because both of those things are literally my entire life, and they have been since I started riding way back when I was 13. I've been filming every single thing or new trick that I've done since I was 13 and putting it on the internet for people to watch. So it's who I am. And if I counted correctly, that should be 5 questions that I answered, but let's give one bonus question from Keenan Connor, just because I love to think about the one that he asked. And his question is, what's your most memorable moment about BMX? If there's a few, top 3 and why. Who was with you? Take us back to that place in time and explain why those moments meant the most to you. Also, love your style, Brant. Thank you, Keenan. You are the man. To take it back to my most memorable moment in BMX, let me first take a drink of my water. So I would have to 100% say it was the time that I won the best trick contest at a Baco Jam when they were still doing those up in Jellystone Park in Wisconsin. The first time I ever did the 270 or 360 over lawnmower ice pick on a spine. And the reason that this is the most memorable moment for me is because this was the first time that I went to a place where there were so many well-known people and people that I had seen before on the internet but never met before, all in one place at one time, and just being on the deck with all of those guys who were front brake masters and tech guys who was like, literally, it was like I felt like I was with my family, like the long lost family. Like you go to this place and you're with all of these people who think similarly and like to do similar things, and they already know who you are and you already know who they are, and you meet and you're just instantly like a family, and we were all just hanging out and riding together. It was so awesome. And for whatever reason, I can't remember what it was. I think I was trying to do 270 over double peg back over on the spine, and then Dan Sieg, who was there, brought up, well, let's do 270 over ice back over. I had never done that trick before, but he said, if you do it, I'll do it. So I made it happen, and then he did it. And then I was sitting beside Bobby Altizer, and Bobby's like, you should combine that with the lawnmower ice or something along those lines. He told me I should do both at the same time, and I was like, whoa, that would work. So during the best trick contest, that was my thoughts for what I wanted to do during the best trick contest. And it literally worked, and I got it pretty quickly, and I was stoked on it, like so excited. It was literally one of the best moments landing that trick. Not just winning the contest, because yeah, that was awesome and it was an amazing moment to win that and experience all of that, but landing the trick and just the reaction from the crowd. Literally everyone lost their minds when I landed that, and it was just one of the coolest feelings ever. It was like, the way that I would describe this right now is like the way that you feel inside when you land a trick like that is the way that it was in person. It was the personification of the feeling that you get whenever you land a trick like that, and it was just amazing. And then to top it all off, somehow, some way, the guys there and the people who are judging felt that I deserved the best trick, so I won it. And it was just, that's 1000% the most memorable moment in BMX for me for so many reasons. And I just love the fact that we got to all be together, meet all these people I'm still friends with today, and just love sharing a ramp with, because if you're part of that group or you know of this group, you know that that does not happen very often. So I'm really glad that I could sit here and talk about that for a minute and share that with you guys and share all of these answers with you guys. And I want to thank every single person who asked a question in here. Let me know in the comments if you guys think I should do more Q&As like this. Thank you to everyone who left a question, and thank you to the guys whose questions I picked. If I didn't pick yours, leave another one in the comments here. Just ask random questions from time to time, and maybe I'll do randomly once a month a Q&A video. But that being said, I want to thank you guys for being here and watching and making it all the way to the end of a video where I'm literally talking about myself the entire time. If you've been here for any amount of time, you know that this channel, it doesn't revolve around me. It revolves around my experience of BMX, but that is everyone else who's involved with it, and even the entire BMX industry in general, because I talk about the news and then do the Lip Lord stuff and upload that to here. So I've finally done something that purely revolves around me and talking about myself. And as weird as it kind of seems, it also seems like it could be cool for you guys. So let me know if you thought it was, and if you're new here, consider hitting subscribe. Thank you guys again for being here and watching, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for another video. Goodbye.